was one of the teams that was in the Mythic division, so they were trying to play against some of the higher skill players, and they always had good drafts and good plans, and they just weren't able to execute because they would get mechanically outplayed. But this is their opportunity to kind of show off that their strategy is something that they have improved on, and they can really take it somewhere. So I think what they've picked so far, this is like the most Zerg composition you can have, with Kaisa being able to follow up with whatever Nocturne and Galileo do. And then the counter pick of Silas was really smart for CFG.
Yeah, absolutely. Kai'Sa wants CC in general to get the passive stacks and get the full proc off. That's what most of her damage comes from now, really, because of how many nerfs she's gotten. And like you said, it's an easy play to comp by RLS, who did have an unfortunate Mythic season, but the start of the season right now, they're going 2-1. I personally have been a little shaky on them because they have issues when it comes to closing out games and these kind of things. But on the other side, CFG got their first win of the season yesterday, where
Yeah,
they
they
didn't
came
look
back.
horrible. I thought
Yeah,
they
they came
looked
back
fine.
against Girl, I believe.
Yes, they did. Another team that is struggling with closing out leads is Girl, but I think so far, from my perspective, I think their bot lane is the star of the team. Of course, they have a support fill in. They were starting uh, Sonafine, I believe her name is.
Yeah, Sonafine.
Sonafine in the support role. She played every single game besides this one, I believe. And then we have another sub for RLS in the top lane. Anti is going out to mid, who is probably the star of the first 3 games of RLS in the top lane. I know that he was the kill leader in week 1, I believe, of course, with his famous Baron steal, which is the star of our TikTok, by the way. Our first
The
ever TikTok on
the
FOF.
FOF TikTok, is that confirmed? Do we actually have that?
Yeah, Anti is the star of our first TikTok ever.
Is I will not condone the uses of TikTok, but I mean, Kiri has just selected up the Scion, so she will be taking the big beefy boy just to have a solid front line taken. So they do RLS has drafted an extremely low range composition, so they're going to need to either get some more CC or get a mage that can have follow up with what they drafted so far. And Sadis is going to go once again. He's going to go back to that Tristana. He picked up the win on that yesterday versus Girl, and I know he had some thoughts about the caster opinion that Stormrazor isn't good on Tristana. So hopefully we'll see if he's going to choose to go that item yet again, and let's back it up. Prove that it's the option that we're going to go with.
All right, so we're gonna get right into game as we see the loading screen. I've never seen this, by the way. Wow. Wow. Close stream. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like we're going through some technical difficulties. Yeah, it's getting rough, man, but we got it.
Yeah, it is.
Are we live or not? Oh my god. Okay, so excuse the technical difficulties. I apologize, but yeah, we had to quickly get that resolved. But we are back into draft. Braum has been selected to close out the composition for RLS. This is definitely something that they can utilize to give Kai'Sa some more peel, some more and some extra CC. So yeah, I like what RLS has drafted, and but I think Coin Flip has drafted a little bit stronger today. So I'm gonna actually err on the side of them. How you feeling, Brendan, about what they've drafted so far?
I like CFG's comp better, but I think that RLS is just the better team at the moment, so I think they're going to win the game. RLS is lacking damage heavily, actually, like extremely badly. Nocturne needs to get ahead. He's a very coin flip champion, which is perfect for the CFG team name, of course, the coin flip gaming. But the only damage right now is Kaisa and Nocturne, unless Scion decides to go Lethality Scion, which I really doubt. I don't really like the Braum last pick, but I guess we should get right into the game. I'm going to say RLS wins.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get right into it. This is the first game, the first official match of the Helios division for today, and I cannot wait to see how these teams are going to perform. CFG coming off their first win, and RLS who started off extremely strong. So we're already going to set ourselves up for some action since there's an early evade coming out. Hopefully, War Leader is prepared as the Flash instantly comes out really aggressive, forcing the Jungler Flash. I would take that trade. Jungler Flash is less valuable than Support Flash early on, so. Really aggressive play, and I like the early invade.
I like the early evade as well because, again, And the standings wise, and most people's perspectives and predictions, is that CFG is weaker than RLS. I mean, I said it myself as someone that does power rankings and these kind of things. So I think that forcing early aggression and forcing early plays that we're just gonna get your team off kilter is actually really important to a team that is deemed better than you, in quotations.
Yeah, CFG struggled with the early game yesterday. Girl got out to a really heavy advantage, so they're going to need to be able to clean that up. The ward is going to be spotting Maxaroni out on his early jungle path. They're going to see him start his red, so his level 2 gank is unlikely at this point, but I'm expecting some more action, especially around this mid lane, because Silas can contest Galio quite heavily, and getting an early kill into that matchup can make it pretty untenable for Galio, so I think mid should be the focus for these junglers.
That's definitely true. Silas does have good ultis to steal. When its Scion ulti is really fun to take, especially when your Silas is actually really good. Nocturne, Galio, these kind of things. I don't know about the Kais ulti. I don't think it's great, but that's the only one that I don't think really Silas should take. But on the bright side, Scion Giono Giovanna, by the way, shout out to the few people that watch JoJo's, is actually one of the best players, I think, on the team. I think that he's performed really well. I know he's the team captain. And the bot lane is easily the brightest spot about CFG in general. So having an aggressive lane with Nautilus and Tristana is actually really important. I think the level 2 advantage right here is going to be engaged. Oh.
Yep, the hook is going to land on this as a minion, so there's not going to be any aggression after that. But yeah, with the game starting off so slow, there's not going to be much early trading, like unless a solo kill comes out in the random. I mean, how do you feel about the trajectory of these two teams, where they're kind of looking to improve on, and if like are these two teams you'd expect to be favorites in playoffs, or kind of looking for their angles up to the last moment?
I think RLS is definitely in the top 3 portion. I think that there's no doubt about that. I think at the moment, INT, Rex, and RLS are the three favorites of Helios League. I think undoubtedly. I think TG is the one team that has surprised a lot of people. They're coming up. And CFG is a new dog, of course. They're new, along with AGS and Girl, who's a returning team from Season 2. But I think that CFG is a team that's going to surprise a lot of people. I said that in the lounge in the beginning with showing and putting a spotlight on these new teams especially. CFG is a team that's going to surprise people. I think AGS, once they finally stop FFing, are going to surprise people as well.
Yeah, it's really great that we've been around for such a long time now, having 5 seasons already under the books, that we have these returning players who already kind of have a history as Fake Archer and Kiri going to take a small trade. Isn't these tanks don't really have the damage to kill each other, even though Fake Archer has been getting the better of it, forcing out a lot of corrupting pots from the side of Kiri, and a dive could easily be set up since Jarvan is here. It looks like they're waiting for that wave to shove in though.
Oh, I think they should have dived him right there, especially that he would have killed him. Getting that first blood and hopefully getting out is actually worth it, of course, because then you lose. I think it's a cannon minion wave as well.
But it looks like they're going to opt to go for the mid. The Jarvan is here. Macaron is going to need to land this EQ, but the Silas does not have anything further, so he's going to continue to face check into Anti, who has gotten a good trade and is going to be forcing the walkout. Jarvan should not go in here as Nocturne is following behind him. It's important to remember that Nocturne still doesn't have his flash available from the early level 1.
Yeah, of course, that would happen from the them trying to force onto the red side. They got a ward there, which is interesting as Anti's going to go in here.
Oh, here we go. This is a big trade. Anti is getting a lot of damage down, but he has no ignite, so the kill pressure is not going to be there. Silas should be safe, but he's going to need to be concerned because his mana pool is quite low. Hopefully, Macron will be looking to get that wave shoved in for him to keep him protected so he can get his recall off and maybe TP back to lane.
As nothing's going to happen. I think it's just 2 meatballs fighting here in the top lane. I talked to Anti, by the way, yesterday morning, really. Actually, I guess it's this morning, like 3 a.m. For some reason, he was still awake. And he was talking to me about how he was nervous about subbing in for mid. And he told me that he wanted to get out a spicy Katarina pick, and he did not play it. So I'm a bit disappointed in my boy right here. He's playing Galio.
Absolutely. Honestly, there's a Katarina angle. I think she's quite underrated at the moment. So having her come out would be quite interesting. I would hope these teams would look to use more of their spicy counter picks to make the lane as interesting as possible, as the root is going to land from Demon Girl. She's going to be forced to eat away. She's going to go back and protect Escape, who is getting a bunch of return damage down. The knockup isn't going to land, and then the teleport is now available. So this is going to be a big fight. Kiri is going to be here, and the stuns are going to be landing. The Galio has gotten a flash taunt off, and that's going to get Jarvan being in a lot of trouble. He's going to drop for first blood as Escape is going to pick it up. The fight is continuing, and Demon Girl is now taking a bunch of damage, and the flashes are coming through. Anti is walking away, and he's been rooted up. He has the bomb on him, and that explosion is going to barely, as he kicks, and Sadis is going to grab it. The Ignite putting in heavy work, and a lot of return damage, forcing out that teleport, and then getting a kill on the return as the hook has now landed, and the stun is there. Demon Girl is going to drop, and the fighting is all across the map as Kiri's going to pick up a solo kill as they're going to go and trade 1-for-1.
You need to take a breath or what? That was probably pretty intense, dude.
Hey, I'm a rap god, man. I'm trained for this.
Absolutely. So in the bot lane, very smart by Nautilus to hit the hook. As you can see in the top lane, they're just both inting. I mean, I don't... It's definitely worth for Sion because, of course, that makes Orin miss a wave. He's probably going to be forced to use a teleport, and then he also gets a turret plate. Very smart really by Sion. I mean, it's worth for him. I think that's a... I think it's like 240 goal advantage compared to the Orin with the kill and the miss wave. As we see CFG going to take Dragon, which is actually really important for them. I think
yeah, this is a big pickup using that early priority that Tristana can give you, getting the Dragon. The experience you get from it is actually quite valuable for these junglers, and Jarvan getting out on the map early and is going to get some catch-up XP because if you notice, he's already massively behind in CS as War Leader has been consistently getting the pressure down and farming quite heavily, so he'll be hitting 6 soon, and as soon as that happens, we should expect something from this Nocturne, and there's a lot of lanes to go through since those flashes were just burned in that big fight bot side.
Next dragon is going to be Windrake. So we're going to be getting Mountain, or we're getting the red dragon. Which is your favorite?
Infernal. Mountain or for Infernal?
No, I call it the red because it looks cooler, bro. Infernal does, I don't know what it is. Something about it. I like calling it red.
I mean, I personally think objectively the most busted dragon is Mountain, just because of how much stats it gives you. It can really overload some of these heavily tanky champions. Infernal Dragon is just more damage at the end of the day, and honestly, you can get less value if you get bursted out. You still have to position properly. So, in general, in League, tankiness can be more effective than more damage because the high threshold for kills is kind of low in this game. So, yeah, I think Mountain is what both the teams will be wanting if they're going to continue to look for a dragon stacking strategy.
I think Ocean Drake's actually the best dragon. I think the healing it gives you in the mana regen and especially the health regen percentage-wise is actually really strong, especially when it comes to stacking and these kind of things in these long team fights.
Yeah, Ocean Drake I think it goes quite good. I honestly think Ocean Drake is one of the weaker ones though because it doesn't do anything against burst. And if you see the way team fights go in the meta now, they're extremely quick. So much damage can come out so quickly, and you don't get any value from the healing in heavy contested fights. So, oh, and here's a hook, good hook landing onto Escape. He's going to be taking a bunch of damages. Now Demon Girl's in trouble, and the bomb has exploded, and then a dunk from Macaroni as he is going to pick up a kill. Really well done. And this bot side getting a kill under the tower, punishing Demon Girl for attempting to save her AD carry, who was a little bit out of position.
Ilapani coming in, of course, he's a support for two teams, actually. He's a UB support and a CFG support. He's coming in and actually being strong. I think he's playing the best on the team at the moment with a lot of great hooks. That hook especially was really good by Kaisa as they take this blue buff from Nocturne away.
Yeah, he curved the hook quite well, so very well done on his part. And frankly, this bot lane is the point of pressure. Sadis has been one of the premier AD carries for the league so far, consistently getting out a lot of damage, even though I'm sure if he watches this later, we'll get on his builds later, but at least when it comes to being an effective DPS AD carry, he does it quite well, and he very rarely does the boneheaded mistakes that can cause you to get punished quite heavily if you're getting picked off. So honestly, he set himself up for having a quite good game, but we have to also give credit for Escaped. Even though his support has been punished, he's farming quite well, already picking up a 12 CS lead.
That's true. I think Kai'Sa is also one of the easiest champions to farm on, especially in the AD carry role. She's up there with like Misfortune and these kind of things that are just extremely easy to spam abilities with low cost on her Q and her W. Really, I think it's only 55 for both, and that's really easy to farm with. And as you said, Sadis is one of the most consistent players. I think that he's, like I said earlier, the best part about CFG. so far in the beginning of the season. He's very consistent. I don't think he makes much boneheaded mistakes.
Oh, it looks like this is going to be an all-in. Fake Archer is going to be looking for the ultimate, but really smart on Kiri, not taking the risk. She instantly ults out, is now going to be looking for a recall. She doesn't need to take this recall at this point, though, so that is going to have her be punished a little bit. If she either will be forced to teleport back, as now Anti is going to be in trouble. The stun is landing, and the Nocturne ultimate has come through. They cannot see. This is a bunch of damage going on to Demon Girl, but then now the trade damage onto Giovanni is there. Nocturne is going to be picking it up with that last auto attack. This fight is continuing. The teleports are here, and all of the damage is coming through as Kiri gets a big knockup, and a double kill is going to be picked up for the side of War Leader, as now Sadis picks up a very good trade kill, even on the back end, finding Demon Girl on the end of it, where he really did a good job of cleaning up what was a minor disaster for his team.
I'm really impressed by Demon Girl's rotation right there. This was a move that few supports do in the Platinum and under Elo, where you're going to this mid and you're covering from your mid lane. Are very smart by her. I don't know if that was prediction or if she was called over to there, but that was actually extremely smart for her to be in the right position at the right time. As she, oh, nice dodge by Sadis. That's actually really good reactions by him. I think that was blind dodge.
Yeah, really well done. And frankly, we just got to give credit to Kiri in this top lane, being the big Scion, getting that teleport in right away, and she landed a full channel Scion Q, which if that ever happens in a team fight, that's a lot of damage coming out from the tank. So fast fingers on the teleport can make all the difference, and she was able to get there before Fake Archer was. As now Escape's going to be in trouble. The dash in for Giovanni, really aggressive. You know the support's coming down if you do that, and Brahma's there. Your life is going to be in the hand, so need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, she could have insta-died right. He could have insta-died right there. That was actually pretty close. I don't know why he did that. Maybe he thought that Braum was not there, but Braum's rotations, by the way, have been really good. So far, she's been in a lot of places with her time. You're going to see another gank by Anti.
Oh, good hook on Anti. That's going to be the damage not coming through, though. Trying to kill a Galio at this point with the damage reduction of Taunt is very, very difficult, and Tristan is not going to dash onto this, as now Bill Park is going to be getting knocked away. This Nautilus is going to be forced to flash away. These roams are extremely well done, but now the knockup is there. He's already half HP. Jira just going to give over a kill as Giovanni's going to be dropping, just teleporting in the middle. That TP was not hit.
Not at all. It was late TP if they're going to make that choice. Oh, Jiro. Oh. Wow. Okay. Silas died instantly. I forgot about that. All right. That's an issue that I forgot about. That's something that was so quickly. He just insta-died. That was late TP. I don't think that it was really a smart play. I wonder if the...
And here comes the hook, and now that's going to be the dash, and Anti's going to be in a bit of trouble. The taunt is going to land, but the damage is there, and a bomb has exploded. Sadis is going to be grabbing his third kill of the game. This bot lane is doing a good job of finding these trade kills, even when they're not winning the team fights necessarily. But Kaisa and Tristana being equally strong, it's going to be the battle of the 80 carries to see who's going to be able to carry harder. But with Sion having 2-1 and 2 and having a shutdown in his pocket, that is a lot of health to cut through if Sion gets any stronger.
Bill the Pawnee's playing insane, by the way, this game. Every single time we see him, he's getting a nice hook on champions. It seems like a kill. He has 5 out of 6 kill participation at the moment. He seems like the MVP at the moment of this game, of course, if CFG can manage to take out RLS, who is one of the favorite teams in all of the Helios League.
Yeah, this will be a really important win for CFG to get, and you can tell that they are trying their best. Unfortunately, the lanes didn't necessarily go into their favor, as you see CS leads haven't opened up in the large majority of them. Escape is on an extremely fast clip, so if he continues to farm at that level, this could be quite dangerous. He did choose to go for the Gale Force option, so anytime you have a Gale Force Kraken Slayer trade, Kraken Slayer will always do more damage in a straight up front to back, so you need to get value out of that Gale Force to find an assassination, which I believe is Escape's goal, where he's going to be trying to ult in aggressively and get a bunch of damage on it, and hopefully pick up Sadis on the back line to prevent him from getting any resets.
I do have a slight issue with that. I think the Kraken's actually better since you have 3 tanks. Really, Silas is also a bruiser, so maybe even 4. I understand the Gale Force pickup, so you're hopefully trying to dodge out of the Jarvan ulti and the EQ combo.
Oh, and here comes the hook. That's another hook landing. A bunch of tower shots. Escape is going to be forced to flash out, but now everyone is here, and Sadis is going to be forced to flash, and Escape is going to pick it up. The tower is still being tanked by Anti, and he's going to drop onto the tower. But yeah, a bunch of trading, and that is a big shutdown given over. So I can't believe RLS is that upset about this trade. I think they're going to be pretty happy, as Kiri is getting a bunch of damage onto Fake Archer, and she's going to be looking for a solo kill here, as the damage has come back from Fake Archer getting the trade, but the flashing is there, and the auto attack picks it up, and the tank just smacks him down as Kiri uses that hammer and puts Fake Archer into the ground.
He's playing really good this game, subbing in for Anti, who is probably like the star of RLS so far. If he's the
Oh,
MVP,
here we go. Curie is going to dodge that Scion ultimate, but a bunch of damage is going to be coming onto her. She's going to be dropping. Scion Hasip is still there, and Macaron does not have anything further as he's going to try to find a kill onto Escape and is not going to grab it. Giovanni is going to be in trouble now as the Nocturne is here and the Fear is going to be available. Is that going to land? The Braum Q is also going to be coming through, but there's nothing further as Giovanni has made it under his tower, but 2-for-1 trade in his favor of RLS. They are just moving better across the map, and they are finding it.
Yeah, they seem to be in the right place at the right time. I love how they respond to a lot of these ganks. Like, Demon Girl has been in a lot of these ganks. Oh, that was close. He almost just died. I want to take a look, especially at Escape, and see how he can ult out of these Jarvan ultis, because especially, you know, that you can ult out of the Cataclysm with Kai'Sa's ulti, Killer Instinct.
Yes.
He did not do it that fight, but I want to see if he can do it again. That's why I don't think the Gale Force is the right buy, just because of the fact that you cannot Gale Force out of the Cataclysm, but you can ult out of it. Gale Force might be good for trying to dodge Orin ulti and I guess Silas hook, but I think that Kraken is really important when you need to get rid of 4 frontline champions.
Yeah, absolutely, and I really want to give credits to both these support players. The dichotomy of playing support is on full display right now, as Anti is going to be looking really aggressively into this red side jungle. But yeah, Demon Girl has been moving around the map, getting wards down, playing extremely aggressively, following up on her team plays. And on the other end, you have I'm sorry, is that Biddle? Is that how you pronounce it? Is the name Brittle? Biddle? Well, the Nautilus player has been landing the hooks. The fingers are working quite well, and he's demonstrating at least of above average mechanics. As now this hook is going to land, and Demon Girl's going to be in trouble. She has no dash available, but the R is going to pick up everybody, and really smart on the back end, so she prevents the Ornn ultimate from coming through by putting her shield backwards as the Nocturne ult is here, but that is not going to be a follow-up as War Leader does not want to go in completely by himself. But those are some heavy cooldowns that are going to be burned before this dragon fight, as CFG is pressuring and trying to take it as fast as possible, but RLS does not want to give this over. The fight is on the back line. The back line is there. Antine is on the back line getting a big taunt. Now that these AD carries are trying to get as many auto attacks as they are, as they're looking to be the fight. Now Escape is on the back line. He's going to pick up Silas, but the damage is, so Escape's going to drop. But a big knockup coming from Curious. He picks up 3, and everyone is going to be dropping to the Nocturne passive, and this fight was massive as RLS picks it up.
What a team fight. That is actually crazy. As we're going to see Build Upon, he's going to probably engage with this hook right here, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
misses his
Tyrion
thing.
in this fight, though. This was big.
Get a huge knockup by her, of course. Nice Braum multi that splits the team fight by Demon Girl. They go in. Huge knockup by Scion. Right now, my boy escapes Cloud and the Cataclysm. A huge 3-man knockup that's really saves the fight, and his Nocturne cleans it up. Who, as we said earlier, he needs to get fed. War Leader needs to be a really important damage with this lacking of damage. The only damage is Kai'Sa and really Nocturne himself, and Kai'Sa and Nocturne are really coming through this game. Kiri is playing out of her mind, by the way, for being a sub.
Yeah, she has landed multiple CCs, played lane quite well, finding solo kills in a tank matchup also. So that, I mean, that's the most you can ask for, especially for Scion. But in that last team fight, landing that 3-man knockup was really what put the nail in the coffin for the side of Sadis, is he was just unable to get any other damage out. And now they're going to be looking to group for this Rift Herald as Escape is walking up. And it doesn't look like CFG is going to be looking to contest this, so this is going to be a free second Rift Herald. And that they can use this to kind of open up the map and try to get some more gold. But this is now spotted, so CFG is aware that this Rift Herald is happening, and the Rift Herald has yet to be taken. Escape is going to be on the back end. Macaroon is going to be here. The teleport is going to be there. Anti taking a bunch of damage. The auto's coming in. Anti is going to be exploding to the bomb as he's going to drop a bunch of damage. Sadis is going ham on the backside, picking up 2. He's dashed away, and now he's fighting this Nocturne. That's 3 kills for Sadis. Big damage coming out from Tristana. She's finding everything. A bunch of damage onto Kiri now. Is this going to be a pentakill? Sadis has gotten damage. She's going to pick up the Quadra. Escape is the last one who is alive, and the jump is coming through. There's no flash available for the side of Tristana, and Escape has made it under the tower, but a Quadra kill picked up for the side of Sadis.
Matsuroni again picking up the Smite fight. This is a huge throw by RLS. I think they're biting off way too much they can chew. Somehow they still have a goal lead. Sadis is playing insane right now. I've marked him from the very beginning.
Here you go. Escape's walking up a little bit aggressively here, trying to protect this tower. He is going to be able to do so. But yeah, as you were saying, got to give Sadis his credit. That was a big fight. He literally solo killed the backline, and that's when you play Tristana aggressively jumping in. He found all the kills he wanted.
On the other side, Kai'Sa's playing pretty good with the return kill, of course. But I think Sadis right now is really huge. I think Tristana is actually the better AD carry, the champion-wise, at the moment compared to Kai'Sa. Just because of the damage output, I think Kai'Sa's so many nerfs is really huge, as we're going to see probably tower trades. I don't know if this mid falls. It does. Okay. And
Oh
again,
yeah, this is not the trade you want though. A tier 2 for a tier 1. A punch that is not it. That's a bunch of gold that was just given over to RLS. It's getting back out on the map as fast as possible and getting that tower taken down.
no, it's not the trade that you want. I don't. It's not the worst thing since they're so far behind. Little trades like this is actually, it's okay, I guess. I would have to, again, critique Escape with this build of the Collector right now. He's going to build Lethality. I really think that you need to build the Lord Dominic's Regard here with the 4 really frontline, as we said, and as we saw that Tristana is going to be just going to be a meatball fight here, I think, again. Even though Kieri has killed Orin so many times, so maybe it's not.
Yeah, this is aggressive. Fake Archer is going to be taking a bit of damage, but the knockup is going to be prevented with the Billow's Breath. So, yeah, nothing further is going to be happening. And honestly, Bill the Pony has been finding those angles, but this you do get outscaled by Braum quite heavily on Nautilus when you hook in and you just insta-die. So, the scaling is on the advantage of RLS. And Jesus Christ, Kiri is just beating Fake Archer down in this lane.
What is her Q cooldown? I swear it's always up, man.
I mean, it basically has no cooldown at this point. As she's just going to walk up, take the tower. Now Fake Archer is going to be getting in trouble, but Macaron is here, and the teleport's available. Beautiful flash out, but the Macaron has caught her with the R. The teleport's coming in a little late. Giovanni's trying to get as much damage down onto Kiri as possible. The Sion ultimate is available, but it's going to be blocked, so that's going to be Kiri dropping, giving over a kill to Giovanni, and Fake Archer is going to be trying his best not to give up a trade kill, but the chains are there, and Kiri's dead body is not going to be finding a kill, so really, really well done. Usage of the teleports, punishing this Sion for getting a little bit too aggressive in that top lane.
What a ulti, what a cataclysm by Jarvan there to really save that. I think that Kira is going to be out there with the nice Sion ulti reaction. Very smart by CFG to follow their jungler's play. Super good ulti, and as we see Anti earlier TP in with a drive-by and just immediately walks away and leaves his top laner. All just aside, that's actually really good by him. I don't think that you're going to win that fight. He's very low damage, and on a lot of people, especially at this elo, die with your teammates, which is actually not a good thing, always following your teammates to go in with each other. You're going to be giving away a lot of gold leads and these kind of things.
Yeah, that is definitely something that they're going to need to be protecting. Escape is going to be the only one in this mid lane with the push coming through. Infernal Drake is up, and this is clearly going to be the next fight. As Anti's going to face check. He's taking a bunch of damage, and he hasn't gotten his taunt off, so Anti's going to die instantly. Sadis is on the back line. Sadis is going to get the jump out, but Escape has followed him, and that knockaway is perfect, so that's not going to be further. Sadis is doing his best to keep it out of trouble. Escape is on the back line, trying to do as much damage as possible, but he's now being caught up by this tanks, and Sadis is going to be getting the damage out, and that's going to be Escape dropping. Now the chase is on. Who is going to escape and how many are going to die? Kiri's taking a bunch of damage. Big knockup's going to come through. A bunch of damage coming out on the Sion, but it's not going to be enough. And well, wonderful AD carry players. These AD carries are battling, but Sadis just outplayed everywhere, getting away from Escape and getting that massive damage out.
That was, unfortunately, RLS. Just immediately, they have one member go down. Before the fight even starts, they had a 4-man ulti knockup from Braum. They had a 5-man knockup by Kiri at the end. And Escape just goes and ults in, unfortunately, by Tristana by himself, and she doesn't have the damage right now to kill Sadis, who is really the only reliable damage at the moment, with Giorno being so far behind, with only having 100 CS, and I think he's down. He was down a level. I guess he's up now with the tie with Anti. He dives in, and then Sadis with a very smart ulti to push him back, and then he flashes over the wall to continue doing damage. Unfortunately, Kai'Sa just couldn't do any damage, any reliable damage. This is why she needed to. That's why he needed to build the Kraken Lord Dominic's build so that he can take out the huge front line on the side.
Absolutely. Kai'Sa has gone for that assassin build, and she doesn't find the assassination. You saw when both AD carries are just trading auto attacks onto this front line, Tristana's just always going to do more. And frankly, even though the laning phase went heavily into that side of Escape, getting a massive CS advantage, you got to give credit for Sadis how he's playing these team fights. As now, that's going to be Demon Girl blocking the ultimate. The flash out from Escape is going to be there. The Jarvan ultimate is also not available. Now they're continuing to flash in. Demon Girl's going to get a big knockup, and the slow field is going to prevent any further chase. Well done. Good peeling from the side of Demon Girl to prevent Escape from dying. But now you have a 80 carry who's about a 3rd HP, and you're in front of Baron, so this could be CFG looking for it, as now they're trying to get some wards and some protection from the side of RLS to prevent this from going down.
That was extremely clean mechanics by RLS. I mean, they really shouldn't have been in the first place, but very great mechanics to get out. There has to be engage here soon, no? Kai'Sa's backed. Alright. Very smart by him not to wait in base for the entire full HP. He was 1/3 and went back. Immediately, of course, with the home guards being activated at the moment, he gets back relatively quickly, but very nice killer instinct and the huge Braum shield to get out. And of course, Demon Girl saves her W to jump out of the Cataclysm with the killer instinct by Kai'Sa.
And she's consistently using that shield to block the Ornn ultimate, which, you know, that is the reason why Braum used to be a heavy counter pick when Ornn was in the meta. This is a support that can prevent that Ram Horn from getting these heavy big knockups, which can really lower Ornn's ability to team fight. But now Macaroon is going to get the Braum Q on him, so he's going to be slowed up, forced to dash away. But yeah, this is RLS playing extremely aggressive in this red side jungle. They're definitely looking for one of these towers and a pick. But now you have the knockup coins. Giovanni's going to barely get away with the dash, so I don't know. Both these teams are trying to find their best angle, and it's just not working out for the side of RLS at the moment.
No, so what I want to see them, they push this mid. I want them to try and get Baron vision right now. They don't have any on the moment. There's a pink on the side of CFG right now, and they should be clearing it right now. There's nothing for them to do. Walking around, Escape is doing his practice, his footloose routine, dancing, and all right, here we go. Kiri, there we go. No.
She's concerned about getting caught out. She does have flash available, but trading your flash at this point in the game in front of Baron, she knows her life is more valuable than just clearing that pink ward. So they are going to be looking to try to get the vision now that the mid wave is pushed in, but Anti is also going to be in this bot side, so he's be forced to teleport if they're going to be looking to fight anywhere. And this is only a 3-man strong. They know Sadis is on the mid wave, so they should be trying to get this mid push out to get some control in this Baron area, because CFG has a lot of pink wards in that area.
RLS surely has to clear out the Baron vision, though, right? They get another mid push. All right, there's a full healthy mid wave. Anti is pushing the bot side. Top is, I think, going to push back to RLS. They have to get the Baron vision, no? If they do not, they still refuse it.
Yeah, it looks like that probably will be where they double back to do so. Anti is trying to get this bot lane pushing. That's a really big wave, so they can look to get this. As Giovanni has dashed in, and he's going to get taunted up. The ultimate is not going to come out from Nocturne, but the flash is going to be forced out from Silas. It's like a little bit too aggressively trying to find this wave.
You see the 4-man nuts to butt strategy right now, hiding behind the wall. Are they going to do anything?
Holy moly! You just said nuts to bust. We're gonna pretend that didn't happen. But yeah,
this is soldier techniques. What do you mean? I'm supporting our armed forces.
Oh my god. This is both teams posturing for the fight, trying to prevent... Everyone's just in this bot lane trying to protect Giovanni so he can farm. This is the weirdest train of events. I have no idea what they're doing. I mean, there's no vision on this Baron side. You should just run the Baron and try to get this thing. But it looks like they're going to be valuing the Infernal Drake that's going to be spawning a little bit heavier. CFG does have this being sold point, and they're going to be looking for a pick. So Anti is going to be... He cannot die here. A bunch of damage coming out on Anti, and Tristana is going to get it, and Sadis is going to pick it up. This is a 4v5, 9 seconds before the dragon spawns. This is going to be sold for CFG, and RLS does not want to get us over, so they're going to have to win a 4v5 without their mid laner. Anti does have teleport when he spawns. The hook is going to land onto Scions, and that's Kiri getting the knockup. A bunch of damage. 1v5 on the backline for the side of Warleader. He's going to drop instantly. Sadis is still alive. He's gotten the dash up, but all the knockups are coming through. Now Escape's going to be forced to flash away. This fight is going disastrous. Macaron is on the backline. He's solo killing Escape, and Sadis is going to be flashing in. The autos are coming down. So much damage coming out from the Tristana, and Kiri is not going to make it. A Scion on the backline is not enough, and that is going to be an ace picked up for the side of CFG.
Again, an RLS Dragon fight where they lose a member immediately getting picked off, and then CFG just continues to fight with Billapani just insane hooks, by the way. Even though Tristana has a very good KDA, I'm actually giving the MVP to Billapani at the moment. His hooks, in general, have just been really good. We see him every single time, and he's starting these team fights. And he is the reason why they're getting such good team fights, as Sadis is being a reliable damage, but
Yeah, this is a 3-item Tristana who is just doing massive amounts of DPS at the moment. The gold lead had been quite close up until this point, but now that's going to be CFG getting their first significant gold lead of the game, going to be up almost 2.5k. At this point in the game, that's not massive, but they do have the Barons, so let's see how much they can get with this. I expect them to at least open up this mid tower, probably look to get a side lane, but they don't have really good split pushers, so more than likely they're going to stick together and maybe look to set up a dive. But yeah, this Baron is going to be big to see how much usage they can get out of it.
By RLS having 2 subs in the moment, missing their mid laner is really huge, but I still think that this game is indicative of a lot of the issues that they have. Is that sometimes they have macro issues and they get picked off very easily. And this is also probably because, you know, RLS are very new members to the league. I mean, I think they started playing 2 seasons ago, 1 season ago. I was going to see
Demon Girl's going to get hooked up. She's going to be forced to dash away. Good dash on the side of making sure that she had an avenue out. But now they're kind of trying to protect her. They don't want to get engaged on this point. Fake Archer cannot use the Ram Horn, however, because Braum is still there and she could easily block it. But now that's going to be Demon Girl forced to base with a 5-man stack onto this mid lane tower. They're not looking to push up too aggressively yet. Maybe concerned about an engage coming through, but yeah, this is going to be the fight that we're looking for as Giovanni just snatches away the Galio ultimate, so I'm expecting an engage to come out shortly.
I think that's the right ulti to take as well, with Sadis being so important to the team at the moment, as we're going to see. Oh,
here's the knockup. Big knockup onto escape. A bunch of damage coming onto this Kai'Sa. Now the fight is on, and the towers is being tanked, but that's going to be Galio on the backline. He does not have enough. Anti is going to be in trouble. Forced to Zonius. War Leader is going to be the first one to drop. Now Anti has been forced. He's been knocked up and stunned, and now he's going to drop. The big coil is landing. Nox going to be Nato is picking up a double kill, but he's under the tower. Escape's going to find it, but too much damage is coming through as Sadis is popping off and putting them down, as everyone's going to be found into the ground with a triple kill being picked up for the side of Sadis. This AD carry is just doing too much work in these team fights.
Problem again is, I hate to keep harping on one issue, is that there's just no way Kai'Sa can do any damage with her build at the moment. She really needed to go the Lord Dominic's and the Kraken build, but I mean there's more issues to that. Of course the goal lead was huge, and Sadis and CFG are just gonna close out the game with a huge win.
Yeah, that's RLS. All she wrote. That's an ace in front of the mid tower, and that's going to be CFG getting the upset victory over RLS. RLS had been doing quite well, but CFG picking up a big one with Sadis getting his MVP performance, picking up a quadra kill and a triple kill in the same game. And then I don't even have to see this damage chart. Just Tristana was popping off, putting the most damage into the game, and then when the enemy team's most damage is coming out from a Scion, you need to be pretty concerned that maybe your mid and AD carry didn't do as much DPS as they probably were expected to.
Yeri, by the way, subbing in for Anti was fantastic, to be fair to RLS. I think that she was easily the best player, I think, that on the team. But Sadis and Build of Hani were just playing insane builds, hooks, all throughout the game, starting out these team fights and these kind of things. And Sadis being a reliable damage and very smart by the rest of CFG to keep him alive and these kind of things. I do need to critique Giorno, who is the team captain right now. I think that he needs to farm better on the Silas and get better damage, but from everyone else, especially with Maxaroni, I think he stole or secured 2 or 3 objectives with his the smite steals as well. Very huge win by CFG, of course, taking down one of the favorites of all the Helios League.
Yeah, absolutely. And as the chat votes for MVP, we gotta expect that we're gonna give it to my boy Sadis for how much, and he should be the one who we're all hoping we're gonna get an interview from. But that's gonna be it for us for the moment. We're gonna have an interview coming through, and we'll be back with you for another game shortly. But I personally cannot wait to hear what this AD carry is gonna say, having his breakout performance, and this is easily the best game he has come out with. So Chris is gonna have his work cut out for him, asking him all the best questions. We'll be right back.
Go. Let's go.
I'ma have to bust it. I'ma have to bust it.
All right, folks. I am back again for our second interview today. It's Chris Edgeworth here for Friend or Foe, and I am joined by Sadist from the victorious Coin Flip Gaming. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right with the apostrophe
Yes, you
on
are.
the S.
Yeah.
But
Cutting it clean.
exactly. Let's start off with thoughts coming into this game. You folks had two drafts that I would put in the interesting category, in the sense that it bring in some champions that we've seen in the past in Friend or Foe, but not champions that have been there recently. Especially the Kaisa pick was interesting on the side of RLS. You were against that as the Tristana. You folks also had the Ornhub up in the top lane. Give me your thoughts on your folks' draft and what you're up against.
Going into the draft, we kind of knew that they were going to try to look for some type of strong side bot lane because they want to get the Kaisa ahead to steamroll. Plus, with the strong synergy that they have with Galio Nocturne, so we wanted to kind of just play for. We know that they're going to have strong synergy and look to go in with the Galio Nocturne Scion. So what we did was we kind of drafted into that, knowing full well that we could peel for me to get ahead. So going into it, we were confident. We knew what we could achieve. We had a pretty rough early game, but I think we brought it back, to be honest. They had a lot of plays where they just kind of left us open to come back, and that's where they kind of suffered for it.
Yeah, I think that was noted on the cast where it looked a lot closer than it had any business being if RLS had maybe played a little tighter with some of their early options. And then definitely, it doesn't help when Triss starts popping off, and that's where I'm gonna lead into. So you picked up the nasty quad, and then it looked like the penta was in your sights. You sad that your team didn't dive the tower to get you that penta?
Not at all. That was my call to back it off. I knew full well going into that. I knew full well after getting the Quadra, there's no way we're catching that Kaisa. Even if we even like tower dive for it all, we'd end up giving kills onto the Kaisa, which looks the Kaisa scale. So I made the call. We're not diving for this. Instead, we're just gonna siege mid, back off, reset, and take what we have and leave.
Wow, that sounds too smart. I don't know. I don't trust it. I'm used to seeing my AD carries just absolutely put the blinders on and see red and just go for the penta. So I'll tip my hat as a support player. Respect when the ADC isn't just griefing my lane by trying to get kills. So respect. And last thing, on the note of respect, honestly, we just had Bigasticus here from Pentakill Timo Please, and he was quite keen on coin flip. He said you folks had some scrim bucks to spend, and we saw that here on stage. It was a great win for you folks. How are you feeling, with the tip of the hat from them, and also how are you feeling about you going forward in this league for coin flip?
I will say that it's been a lot of underhanded comments that CFG won't do much. Yet here we are making a stand. We had a rough start to our season, so what? A lot of good teams have bad starts to the seasons. I'm coming for the top. I want the championship. That crown, I'm taking it. Int, I'm dethroning.
I like the challenge. I like it when we see this fire, people aren't afraid to come out here and just let people know that put people on notice. And people like In the Trees who've had it too good for too long.
I've said it. I'm putting every ADC on notice. You bring your A game or you get out of my lane, period.
Watch it, Kenny. Watch out, boy. He's coming for you. He's coming for that ass. And we'll leave it there. Sadist, before we step away for Game 3, any final thoughts you'd like to leave us with on the desk? Any shout-outs or any banter?
Shout out to my boy Poppy for honestly, he's kind of been like my motivational support, as well as like everybody else, always having my back, and he's helped me a lot with playing ADC. So yeah, shout outs to Poppy. That's my boy right there, and as well as my team. They've been a lot of supports.
Awesome.
Thanks to everybody.
Oh, well said. Thanks again so much, Sadist, for this interview. Congrats to your team as well as you advance to 2-2. And folks, we're gonna take a short break, but we'll be back very soon with our third game of the night. So don't go anywhere.
that this isn't just a fight between the two of us. The principles and styles of our two schools are also at stake here today. They must leave this place and allow the other to continue teaching in peace.
I don't know. I was so scared.